Hey folks, fWhip here, and welcome to my hardcore Minecraft world. I've now survived over 6,000 days in this world without dying, and it's finally time to finish one of my oldest projects in this world. Nearly 2 years ago, I started this project from a random Minecraft plains biome, where I shaped out a small harbor for fishing boats, built the very first warehouse in this world on top to hold my chest monsters, then took to terraforming out the entire island, and finally into building out some brand new structures, trying to fill out the space with buildings that would shape the road. As many more hours passed by, I filled out each individual building, turning this blank land into a beautiful town one block at a time. Fast forward a little bit and the town build is done. Fast forward a tiny bit longer and our world now looks something like this almost 2 years later, where I want to finally actually finish off this town by building a new harbor on the north end. Leave a like on this video if you're excited, and I really do appreciate all of your support, so be sure to subscribe to not miss out on any future uploads. 2 million subs this year, baby! Yay! Before we get into the project completing this new section of the town, I have something extremely important to do. We have to build an interior, which means it's very important if I'm doing it. Oh, we passed it. Beep, beep, beep. Ah, here we go. I want to build a library inside of this building. It just needs a little more space on the inside to make that happen. Well, this is surprisingly a really good amount of space, and we already have a chimney, which means there has to be a fireplace right here, and we have to somehow get up to layer 2 and 3. Next in here, I really need to fix up the walls before we get too far gone. I'm really worried this is gonna break the whole line. No, it does. At least for now, I can just place it in the rest of the way. No, dang it, stupid mud. And no. Oh, I did it again. Okay, perfect. Yeah. Great. I do want to make sure we extend this dark oak going all the way around, and we're probably going to stick it out here a little bit. You know what? It'll go all the way across because it's going to come right in front of the fireplace. And we just move into the texturing for the next layer. With that done, we can see all of the space we actually have to work with for the interior of this room. And I'm thinking for the floor, we can just bring in some spruce for now. And I do have a little bit of a crazy idea here where I think for this room, I'm kind of just making it up as we go. I want to actually drop it down another block, or maybe we go 2 blocks down and turn this small section into a little bit of a reading corner for our library. We can assume the fireplace is probably going to take up something like this. So it's a pretty big boy, but everything around that can just be a little place for people to chill and read. Okay, now I'm actually getting excited to build an interior. What's wrong with me? I want to use a little mangrove inside. So I decided to run the mangrove tree farm for a bit. It is very noisy down here, but we have ourselves a ton of mangrove logs. Look at that. Oh, we can just fill this up, and that makes me very happy, but I'm getting a headache being down here, so let's leave. I've got a bunch of stuff together in my inventory here, but I also want some bookshelves, and we can grab those down in the villager trading hall. Out with a quick trip to visit our librarians, we can just buy ourselves a good amount of bookshelves for however many I can get off a stack. 16? Yeah, that should do. I didn't really know what I wanted to do in here, so I just kind of started placing down some blocks, focusing on the infrastructure like staircases and the fireplace. Once we can move around the space, I can more easily decorate to fill in all of the empty spaces that are left over from there. And here we have it, a bookstore that doesn't currently have too many books. We got a little bookshelf over there, and I really love the details up here. It's very moody in this section with the darker colors, and then very bright and open down here in the reading room with tons of seating so you can sit in front of the fire, read your book, grab some books off the wall, and like every good bookshop, we have a bunch of artwork and plants everywhere. Comment of the day book, which is already up to page 50, and that is pretty crazy. We can slap that right in there and get another book. If you didn't know, I do these every single episode over on the second channel. There's a second video. Oh, that's a plant in my face. There's a second video that releases with every main one. I know, it's amazing. But I don't know how many pages are in the book, so I'm gonna keep it until it's full. Do you remember how I used to have these random jungle and dark oak trees up here for like 5,000 days I just never chopped down? Well, I finally got rid of them and built this really cool oak tree over here. But I'm definitely in need of some ideas for what else we can fill the space. What do I put here? what do I put up here? Another detail I added in recently was filling this open space across the valley with a new farmhouse in the fields. And of course, it got its own tree too. I really like how it kind of frames in and completes this entire region. Ignore the turtles. Don't look at the turtles. Moving on to where I want to add in a few more custom trees by our bee farm right over here on the hillside. For this, we're gonna need a little bit of diorite and some andesite walls. And I need to chop some cherry trees down. That should be enough cherry log action to keep me going for a while, and we got a bunch of saplings over here so we can just replant them and grow this patch back. I knew it! There was a log in here! You're not gonna escape me! Right, back to building trees, not destroying trees. This here should be everything I need for a few trees, and I did get these 2 beehives, which I think have bees in them, so we can add those in after. I really want to keep improving my starting region to show the world is evolving consistently, not just a space where things get locked in a moment in time. We can take a little bit of bone meal down here at the base, and this should look pretty good. We can just leave a few of the flowers in, why not? And then we can take one of these bee nests, plop it in right there. Ooh, it's full of honey, and it has a bee. Yes, oh, I love that. And the second one we can hide like right down here, and it hopefully has a bee too. It has honey, so that's a good sign. Maybe I stole the home before the bee got it, but yeah, I'm sure he's in there somewhere. He's just napping. Oh, there's a second bee. Yes. Oh, it's perfect. Yep, I'm happy I took the time to add these in. That's enough of the side projects for now. Let's refocus on the main project. I built this town here almost 2 years ago, and since then it's only been really used. As well, my cats have turned into ghosts. Hello? Cats? This is supposed to be a town for cats. All the cats are invisible. Where'd they go? Oh, there's my cats. Yeah, it's a town for cats to thrive in. I swear there were cats here. So today we're gonna finish off this corner, which means we need a plan to get this started. And I'm thinking we start with expanding the harbor out into the river just a little bit with a new dock, a crane, and a new storage warehouse with probably a tower attached to it. Then we can make a little fish market and build some more houses and trees to fill out the rest of the space. I just need to go get myself a bunch of stone, tuff, andesite, little spruce, and we're in business. To get started here, I'm gonna tear up this little bit, and we're going to create a staircase that's going to come all the way down to this current dock level. And I probably should have brought another shulker box to shove a bunch of junk into, but for now, we can just fill all this in and get ourselves down to the dock layer. Perfect. And then what I'd like to do from here is actually raise up this section. This is gonna be where the larger boats are docking, so the dock needs to come up a little bit higher since those boats stick a little bit farther out of the water. Clearing out everything along here, and I think all of the sections that we have so far are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks long. So if we account for the polished andesite starting here, then we bring that 5 out coming this way. This can be our corner right here. But I guess that would actually be coming up a little bit farther, and maybe our staircase just stops here and we have the wooden part at the same upper level too, so then we can have a little staircase wrapping that around to bring it up. Yeah, that sounds more fun. And then now we just continue ourselves going straight down this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we have our little corner here, and that'll be perfect. Oh, nice. I love revisiting projects, as sometimes I already have a design, so I can just turn my brain off and build. Which leads us to here. And now you can see the problem. I need to extend the stone down here a good distance further. Down here to the end, where I did also wrap it around this side because it just felt a little weird ending at the corner. That can disappear into the dirt there. Then this one, I don't have too much stone left, but I would love to bring it down that far, and then we'll just take the dirt over. Oh, hi, buddy. How we doing? No, goodbye. I've just got a friend helping me build. Oh, I ran out of stone, buddy. I'll be back, okay? Since I'm already near the storage rooms, let's jump in here really quick, drop that grass off, and grab a little bit of dirt. All of our stone is in place now, and with the dirt, I want to follow this new little outline that I've created. There we have a little bit of variation for where the dirt is going to start to go, and we need to do some underwater terraforming to remove this mess in front of us. As I want to just kind of trail the dirt off here, making it look like it's going a little bit closer closer to the bottom of our river. I'm not going to connect it all the way for now, just kind of down into that darker section. With the framing in, we need to tear down the existing island to make way for the harbor. A little bit more work to be done down here as I want to merge this dirt more cleanly into the existing river terrain. So basically I'm going to get rid of all the stone because I think we are deep enough. I'm not sure how large of a boat I'm going to be putting in here, but this hopefully will do it for now. And there we go. That's looking a lot better down here, at least for now it can do. Now if we take a bunch of spruce planks, craft a few spruce stairs and a ton of spruce slabs, we need to upgrade this dock somehow. And this existing section, I think we just bring it. Nope, that's absolutely not it. We just bring some of our slabs out right over here, add some extra pillars in, sending these down to the bottom. And then we need to somehow bring this to the upper layer where this next dock section is going to be starting. And maybe we just start this with a post coming up right there, and we can just do some stairs connecting. Yeah, that'll be fine. And maybe a little like a boop, 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 boop. Trying to stay consistent with the other dock, we just need to bring the slabs out by 2. And there we go. All of the posts are now in place as well, and this is starting to look like a pretty decent harbor. I did end up dropping this down on the far side just to have it a little bit more accessible for a smaller boat. Seeing as we couldn't fit a massive one here, we'll just maybe fit 1 or 2 of them out here. Probably just 1. Now to figure out the roads above and to flatten the space out a little bit more. But I don't want to fully flatten the area. We do need to make it easier to walk around on for sure. So I'm just going to be pushing the hillside back a little bit, and we'll use some buildings later on to smooth the transition even more. But first, I need to get the rough roads in with a ton of coarse dirt that I'm throwing in a big loop around the new region of the town. I've got enough space in here for a crane, and I want to make sure it stands out from everything, so time to get some blocks. I'm using a design I came up with a few years back as I absolutely love it still, and I think it can fit in here well, and thankfully it doesn't require too many crazy materials. And for once, I can fit it all in my inventory. I want this to feel very mechanical, so I'm starting with some of the base framing in place here and adding in a few large gear wheels that could be turned to operate different aspects of the crane. Then moving into the crane on top that can pivot around to grab cargo off of the ships and drop it up to the upper level. Yes, this is going to do the trick. Man, the skyline that I have been looking at for over a year, almost 2 years, is going to be so different after today. And I think I need to expand the road a little more to squeeze behind this guy, so I'm glad I did it first before we have a massive warehouse here. Now that we have some of the infrastructure built up, I want to go mining out in the desert near New Papyrus, as I'm on the hunt for a fossil. They are extremely rare in Minecraft, and they will actually only spawn in deserts or swamps, so I need to run around underground in the desert here until we can hopefully find one. But I am also on the hunt for some diamonds, and if you find a fossil in the deep slate levels, it'll actually spawn with a ton of deep slate diamond ore all over it, so we could get a massive win. About 40 minutes of caving later, many more creepers and a few more diamonds, but we've had no luck so far on the fossil, so I decided to just kind of leave and find my way back up to the surface, where I fully left the caves, flew around in the desert, and decided to randomly jump into another ravine for one last ditch effort. And we found one. We actually found a fossil here right in the desert, completely exposed to the surface, and I'm so excited for it. This is definitely a smaller fossil, but I know exactly what I want to use it for. Is this the front, or is this the front, or this? I don't know. What is it? Regardless, I love the idea of New Papyrus and the city of Path being trade partners. How are all of you in the water? Well, I guess 2 of you are on a boat. Good job. Oh my gosh, there's so many villagers now. But I want to extract the fossil, put it on a ship, and show New Papyrus is selling it to Path. Wow, I kind of forgot how cool this place is. I haven't been over here for a while. Oh, I love it. So let's tear down the fossil for now and put it all here into this box. And I'm gonna need a bigger boat. Who's breaking the door up here? Why are you breaking the door? Stop breaking the door. How rude. You know what else I need? A field. Yep, that's right. It's time to add another field into this hardcore world. Nearby the town, we are actively expanding, filling in one of the few remaining spaces with a potato field. And if you didn't know, my goal is to hit 2 million subscribers this year. So please subscribe if you haven't already to help me reach that crazy milestone. And it helps tell YouTube people actually like my content, and then they suggest it to more people from there. So it's a win-win. This field might actually grow while we're working on the project down here today. Just ignore the fact that the last 2 fields still haven't fully grown. We got a boat to build, which means I need a lot of blocks to build the boat. Headed west back over to New Papyrus for a few moments. I want to chop down a few of those random jungle trees I grew in the desert, as we're gonna need a decent amount of those for the boat. This should keep me trapdoor crafting for a little while. I do need a lot more wood materials because, well, this is a boat and I want the hull to be made out of mostly mangrove wood. Then we're going to be using our jungle, some spruce, and a dash of oak to go on top to more round out all of the flavors. I mean colors. Don't eat my boat. Next up, we can head over to the city and down into the quarry for stone stuff. Ooh, that was a clean flight. Always more grindstones. And I want to try out some diorite. A little bit of polished blackstone. All of the materials are here together and it's time to build up the brand new ship. I spent about 2 hours in a creative world mocking up this design before assembling the final copy here in the actual hardcore world. Through a lot of trial and error, I'm actually really happy with the final result we have. Now, if I can just remember how to build the actual fossil. Next, just to add a few ladders and rails in here to look like we've tied it down. Yeah, that's looking pretty secure in here for the fossil. And here we have it, the completed ship resting in our new harbor. Back on dry land now, I need a warehouse for all these goods being shipped in. This should be enough room coming all the way back up to here, but I don't think I have space for another building behind it. I'll figure that out later. For now, I need some materials to build with. To get started, I want to restock a bit on our brown mushroom blocks to texture in some packed mud sections. There goes the last one of the mushroom trees, and we got plenty of mushrooms. Well, mushroom blocks. Hopefully we got some mushrooms down here. 41 should do it. We might have to start harvesting these again. Throwing one of them on each of our little bits of podzol, and now we can flip the lever. I love watching this place work. And now we can head back to the storage rooms, where I now have a good amount of wooden materials hanging out here inside some shulker boxes ready to go. And we're off to the quarry for some stones, which are all here ready to go. Now I think I only need 2 more items, which requires a trip. A trip to, ow, into the nether. We're going to the nether. We're in the nether now. Yet another trip out to our Frog Lake farm to grab our fully completed interior blocks, and a trip over to the desert. Well, more so next to the desert, as we have a lot of acacia trees out here. Wait, isn't there an island I'm dropping at? I definitely thought I had something out here cutting down trees, so we could just keep at it here. Back at the harbor now, time to get building. Let's grab all of our spruce, granite, and our packed mud. For our warehouse, we need to be able to move in and out easily, so I'm building 3 archways as different entry points into the main room. Then we probably want to build up the rest of the walls to create a room using our granite, packed mud, and mushroom blocks. Bringing it up to a point here for the roof itself, we can bring in a little bit of our stripped dark oak log, and then in the middle, throw in a window. And a spruce trim going around the entire roof. We can fill in the roof itself with some deep slate in here, just with our bricks and the stairs to go all the way across. I want to add in a few skylights as well, just to bring some more natural light down into the building, so we can create a few of our windows right here. A little spruce on top to help break up the roof shape itself a little bit more. Yep, I'm liking that. That's going to work out really well for our warehouse. I also added in some more dark oak inside and actually changed out the underneath sections from our windows, and I'm thinking as it's getting a little dark, we can throw in some lanterns. Of course, we need to finish off the corner tower, sticking much higher into the sky for the dock workers to more easily keep track of when ships are coming in so they can be ready. This new expansion is really starting to take shape now. Around the corner over here behind the tower, we can add a few piles of just some stuff, maybe some beehives. Just the one. Maybe a little bit more back here. Now it looks like a busier dock with some actual things around instead of just a shulker monster not supposed to be there, you know? But it is needed as, let's grab some coarse dirt, as I should probably take the floor out in here or put it in actual floor. And for now, we can just add in some coarse dirt covering it all. Much better. It is a little consistent though, so we can grab a little bit of our regular dirt and tear out a few patches now that the grass won't be able to grow over the top of it. I find this just makes the dirt areas look a touch more natural and less like a giant grid. Just a few blocks changed out, and that helps a ton in here. We'll add the interior to the warehouse soon, but first I want to get our other buildings in place. And we can start with this spot down here. Now, if we count off 3 blocks, we can take some logs and build a few pillars sticking up into the sky here. So you create a bit of a covered work area. It's not the largest space, but it can still get the job done, as I want to turn this into a spot for fishermen to clean all of the fish that they caught for the day. And I think something like this is gonna do perfect. I didn't wax the copper, so I'm just gonna kind of let it age down and see what we like. With a little bit more spruce, we can kind of set up a workstation down there with some more stairs that we can use to create some small tables of sorts, like maybe this guy. I don't really know what much of this stuff's gonna be doing, but it's all gonna be in here for some decorations, that's for sure. You know, well, I don't know, some stuff can fall into there. What is a fishmonger really supposed to look like? Just a place to cut up the fish, and I think we're kind of selling that here, so yeah, I think it's good. Okay, one more detail we can throw in is a few campfires over here. Extinguish those, and I believe one of the barrels down here has all of my loot from when I would go fishing. Yes, it does. Let's throw in some cod, and perfect. We'll just dot a few of these around up here. Now, for the extremely important detail, I need this cat. Come here, I got some snacks for you. Come on, over this way. No, over here. Oh, I hate cats. I'm sorry, you're great. Yeah, come on, let's just go right back over here. You're gonna hang out next to the fishmonger trying to get a little snack. Absolutely perfect. I'm not 100% sure what I want to do yet on the back road, but I want to use some smaller structures we can just slap together. So let's grab some oak logs out of here, and hopefully that's enough spruce. Plus a little bit of cobblestone from down here in the quarry. That'll be plenty. We'll get in the rough shapes for now and detail it all out later once we like the general idea of what we have back here. This was the first real big project I ever did in this world, so the builds were still pretty starter material heavy, so I don't want my new additions to stand out all that much, which means we can stick with a fairly simple block pellet here and it's gonna look good. Okay, that's looking pretty good in here. And for the second one, I want to throw like a diagonal one in over there. And I think I want to grab some birchwood. Hopefully I actually have some. Ooh, we do. Let's have this guy stick out here a little bit and then be a bit of a diagonal coming back to there. We could do like a big door right here and send it back into the hillside. These are going to be pretty skinny houses with only 3 wide interiors, but that's okay. It's less space for me to say I'm going to decorate and just not do it, so it's perfect. So it doesn't look exactly the same as this guy right over there. Let's extend it out a block on both sides. So we're actually going to have to break the roof of the one that we just built. Sorry, your window is just going to be going right into a block. That's a bit of a bummer. Let's actually shrink the doorway down there instead of a double wide, and then we can bring another bit sticking out here on the front. Let's move it over one to here, because then it's not right above the doorframe. Let's continue our spruce going up a few blocks like this to create our second floor. Then we can take some of our birch planks and a lot of birch logs, and the planks are just going to go around the base like this. And then we're going to use the birch logs to fill in the rest of the walls. We can peak this all the way up to a little bit of a roof point right here, so it's not too crazy tall compared to everything else, and then we'll just extend our slabs down the middle. Simple spruce roof is thrown up here on top, and I think it's looking pretty good. We got a few little wonky spaces being on the diagonal, but if I take this down, we can get a pretty good view of the little building we've created. I like it. Maybe right above here, we can add in the campfire, and then also one right there above the door. And I'm gonna take a little glow lichen on the back here for this random stretch, just to keep it a bit safer. Do I have grass? I have grass, yes. My idea is this building here is actually a bit of like a dockside restaurant of sorts, and I was thinking we could take ourselves coming off from the warehouse, and what is that, 7? And stretch this out a little bit over the road here, and then get rid of all of the dangerous fire, and all of the smoke's gone. Perfect. Okay, and then we can bring a little bit of our spruce down right here, and this is going to create a bit of an outdoor covered seating section, which we can have our acacia logs as some tables, and then we could just do birch slabs as some chairs, just for something really, really simple. And maybe it also extends down here a touch. That's a bit out from the cover, so these are like the prime seats. And we're gonna strip these down. Got a few item frames we can throw on top to make it look a little bit more like a table, and I think that'll do it. Do I have any more hanging signs? Yes, I do. Perfect. Put in a full block so we can place the sign off of it, break that, and then we put our stair back and it'll stay. Just a simple dockside snacks right over there, and we've got all this. I'm kind of in that random phase where we just throw details in everywhere and see what sticks. So we're just gonna toss in a few of these. Maybe we can hide that in as our lighting for this section, because I don't really want to throw in too many lanterns around. How are you still mad at me? Not that I did anything, but there's no proof. There's no evidence. Why are you still mad at me for no reason? Absolutely no reason whatsoever. He's still mad. Look at him. I could put some glowberries out here, though. Ooh, vibes. I've got space for a third small house here, so I added in another brick house to fill the space, connecting into the sailmaker's backyard. Going into a more of a beginner's style has been a bit of a challenge. I just want to keep throwing in more blocks to detail, okay? But I actually do really love how this has turned out, even though it is a little bit less detailed. I really like the vibe we're getting here. So I think I am going to be leaving this as is, as it definitely is fitting in with the town. There's a few open spaces left, like this grassy spot right here, where I think we can cram in another building, and then I definitely want a few more trees around. I think most of those are gonna have to land back here, though. Where'd your angry llama friend go? They disappeared. Hello? What happened to the second llama? Right, anyways, we need some more blocks. Starting the lumber mill yet again to throw together a bunch of different wooden materials. Or, well, I hope to. I have no spruce or dark oak left, so we are off to chop some trees. That should hopefully be enough to get me through today. We'll find out. This is everything we're gonna need back over here at the docks. And here comes the last building in the town expansion coming together to fill out our final corner. This feels so much homier already with the new building in here. I'm a tiny bit worried about this being a little too close with the machine needing to move, but it's Minecraft, so it's not gonna move ever. It's gonna stay there for as long as this world is around. So it's fine. Now just one last big room to deal with. I grabbed a bunch of spruce trapdoors and spruce slabs over here that we can use to create some really big shelves coming here along the back, and maybe a few more over here on the side. We can spam and make a few big piles of barrels here in the middle, and maybe some beehives for a little color variety. And bam, we have an interior. Check it out. I really like how this one turned out. We got a little wheelbarrow and a bunch of just stuff all over, and I even threw a little bit more extra stuff in here, so it at least gives the illusion that we filled it out when it's you can kind of see through it. Oh my gosh, that llama scared me. I did mention trees a while back, and I really want to add in a few custom ones around the new spot. And oh boy, am I so happy with how this new addition has turned out for the town. Finishing off the final corner feels just so good, especially when you take a look back at where we started today with a random grassy hill. For some final touches around the town, I want to detail the end of the river here. It's a little too default vanilla Minecrafty for me, you know? Oh, look at the salmon. I love them. I've got a bunch of stuff here together, and we can start out by building a few rocks. This is a simple way to add some more interest and break up the gross dirt walls of Minecraft. That's looking a lot better already. I did find this random little waterfall sticking out like right there and decided to just raise it up, but the rock's a little wonky. I'm just gonna leave it for now. Now we can get rid of a little bit of the actual river edge and bring in some of our mud and coarse dirt along. And I think it's time that we get rid of the sand over here. It served its purpose for a while, but we're in for upgrades, baby. Then we can dot a little sugarcane along the edges. And from here we can kind of just spam in some leaves and other details. And I do have my hoe on me, so we can plant a few little bits of wheat. And some of my favorite detail blocks to throw in is the dark oak sapling. Never hurts to add a little bush in. Then up top for this open space, let's just bone meal up the grass a little bit to make it look more overgrown. And I love it. Okay, maybe just one more little detail under here with some bone meal. I swear, then I'll be done. I swear, I absolutely had to do this. See? Yeah, totally worth it. It's the last bit, I promise. Yeah, that's it. We did it. There we go. We did it. The town is now complete, which is absolutely fantastic to see. I mean, look at this beautiful build resting down here along the river. Thank you so very much for watching. Please click that like button as it actually helps me out a ton. And be sure to subscribe if you haven't to help me reach 2 million subscribers. But I'll catch y'all on the flip side. Oh, this world looks so good.